world needs you.
Nothing good is born from lies, and greatness is not what you think.
There was no hope for this world. No hope. No hope. It's time for me to die.
There's things we have to accept no matter how much it hurts.
I wish I was hopeful, like you.
Baby, I don't want to say goodbye.
My mistakes outweigh all the good I've ever done.
Find your mother. Tell her how much I love her.
The end of the world is licking at our heels! The end of the world!
They're gone.
And we're next. Every second, another Earth dies.
This threat brings the annihilation of all life.
Battle not with monsters, lest you become a monster. Even in the darkest times, hope is the light that lifts us out of darkness.
Let's go save the universe.
Keep riding the lightning.
Everyone has a part to play.
The multiverse needs you!
TikTok, people!
All of them! It's not time! The battle is lost!
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. We have a whole bunch of new footage to break down Wonder Woman 1984 trailer and Crisis on Infinite Earths final trailer. They're billing it as the Final Crisis trailer, but obviously Final Crisis is a very different big comic book event than Crisis on Infinite Earths. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos, and we'll do a DC merch giveaway. All you have to do to enter that is just be a subscriber and leave your favorite moment from the trailers on the video. I gotta say, Wonder Woman lassoing lightning bolts is probably the craziest action scene that I think I've ever seen in a DC movie. Crazier in terms of concept, like the idea that you could lasso a lightning bolt and say like Superman fighting Doomsday and carrying him into orbit. We'll break everything down. I'll start with the Wonder Woman footage, obviously, and then I'll talk about the Crisis on Infinite Earths footage, because Episode 1 of Crisis on Infinite Earths will be Sunday night, so I will be doing Easter egg videos for each of those episodes. We start with footage of Wonder Woman looking out over a foreign city. A lot of the movie takes place in Washington, D.C., but this doesn't look like Washington, D.C. Chris Pine, Steve Trevor, voiceover saying, "The world needs you." Obviously, in most of the footage in this trailer, or the teaser for the trailer, Steve Trevor is standing right next to her wearing that weird members-only jacket. Remember, the full title of the movie is Wonder Woman 1984 because the movie takes place in 1984, so everything has gone full-blown 80s. The reason why Patty Jenkins said that she wanted to do the movie during that time period is because it was maximum America. Everything was heightened to the maximum extreme. It was the height of the Cold War, the height of 80s excess, the height of everyone's egos. Obviously, that plays into a little of what the villain, Maxwell Lord, is doing. Like she says, greatness is not what it seems. She's probably talking to Maxwell Lord during that voiceover. Then there's the scene of Wonder Woman protecting Steve Trevor from what seems like White House security guards. It just seems like she's in the White House during this scene. Maybe they're being mind controlled by Maxwell Lord, or he does something to make them think that Wonder Woman is after the president. Otherwise, why would they be shooting at Wonder Woman? Because it's 1984, the president at this time would be Ronald Reagan. There's this cool extended scene of her using her lasso in a much more elaborate takedown scene than we saw them try during the first Wonder Woman movie, or Batman v Superman, or Justice League, any of the other movies that Wonder Woman has appeared in. You can just see that they've evolved the level of her action scenes as they've slowly figured out what they can do with her on a technical level. Like, how do you make the lasso seem cool in action scenes? There's a really cool slow-mo shot of her using her gauntlets to disarm the gun, deflect the bullets into something else. They also use this slow-mo to cleverly show you the minor changes that they made to her costume. See how much deeper the colors are and how much more she just pops on screen when she's wearing it against the background? This is a really quick comparison of the color grading from each of the different movies that she's been in. It's the same costume, they just made minor tunes and edits to it in the way that they color correct each of the films. This just seems like some local disaster near the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor approaching in her civilian 80s clothes. This outfit you probably recognize is also meant to be almost identical to Lynda Carter's outfit from the 70s Wonder Woman series. There are a lot of rumors about Lynda Carter having a cameo in this movie because she didn't appear during the first Wonder Woman movie. Why would you not have a Lynda Carter cameo in a Wonder Woman movie? Also, rumors about her appearing during Crisis on Infinite Earths, but I don't know if they were able to land her for that. They said that they were still trying to do it a while ago. Wonder Woman has that voiceover saying nothing good comes from lies. That's probably her speaking to Maxwell Lord. He is supposed to be the main villain of the movie, played by Pedro Pascal, who is also the Mandalorian. So if you're really digging the Mandalorian, there is a whole lot of Pedro Pascal going around right now. She says greatness is not what you think, while they show Maxwell Lord inside some sort of mechanical device that maybe amplifies his telepathic powers. Very Quantum Leap looking, which is also an 80s series, but the tiles on the outside also kind of remind me of Cerebro from the X-Men franchise. It's not clear who this dude is firing the giant gun, but it's him probably just trying to take down Wonder Woman. And then obviously the crazy action scene of her actually trying to lasso lightning bolts in the atmosphere to fly through the sky. It's not clear why she's up so high in the atmosphere. Maybe she jumps out of a plane or something like that, but this is just a crazy idea. Remember, she is a full-blown demigod, the half-daughter of Zeus, so she can channel lightning at least a little bit the same way that Zeus does. The full trailer will drop tomorrow. Of course, I will do an Easter egg video for that, so that'll probably be my first video that I post tomorrow. But getting into Crisis on Infinite Earths footage, the voiceover at the beginning is Kevin Conroy's Batman saying there was no hope for this world, so he does sound like he comes from an alternate Earth. But because Batwoman recognizes him instantly as Bruce Wayne and he recognizes her, it also sounds like they're implying a version of Earth 1 Batman is also Kevin Conroy's Batman. They'll clear a lot of that up after Crisis. Speaking of big crossovers, they did talk about Green Lantern being ready to go by the end of next year, as well as a Booster Gold series and the Stargirl series. They dropped a teaser for that, but that's more of a high school series that's going to air on the CW, so that's not really relevant to what's going on during Crisis. The other really big thing that people are talking about in this trailer is the death of Superman scene that they have here, with Tyler Hoechlin's Superman seemingly dead in a scene that's ripped right off of the comic book page. The big difference here is that if you read the text on the news release here, the little banner, it says that Lex Luthor appeared out of nowhere, killed Superman, then vanished without a trace. So they're talking about John Cryer's version of Lex Luthor. Obviously, Doomsday does not figure into this. It doesn't sound like they're using him during Crisis on Infinite Earths or anything like that. The whole idea is that there's a version of Lex Luthor working with the Monitor, so it's not clear if it's that version of Lex Luthor or if it's going to be some other alternate Earth version. Because Tyler Hoechlin is all over the Crisis trailer, it would be kind of weird if he straight up dies in the middle of it, because we know that he's going to get a solo series on the CW next year. There will be a Superman TV show starring his version of Superman, so either they're going to pull some big reverse and save him, or this just happens to be an alternate Earth version, because it's Crisis on Infinite Earths, as in many, many different versions of Superman out there. More of Barry recruiting Black Lightning. That doesn't happen until the 3rd episode. They kind of cut up this a whole bunch because there's 3 different episodes. There's one Sunday night, there's one Monday night, one Tuesday night, and then they go on break and they come back for 2 more episodes in January. They're really laying it on thick with everybody crying in this. I mean, if you've ever seen any of these big crossovers, then you know that the mains from most of these TV shows, not including Arrow, press F in the chat, will be coming back after Crisis. There's still a couple people out there that have never read Crisis on Infinite Earths or encountered pictures of what happened during Crisis. Even if you haven't read it, you've probably seen people talk about what happens during Crisis. Probably the other biggest new surprise from this trailer is Will Wheaton himself carrying that sign, "Prepare to meet thy doom, the end of the world is nigh." The reason why he's starring in this is because he played some Justice League characters in the early 2000s in some of the animated series, so he has been part of the DC universe before. They show you Jonah Hex. If it wasn't clear, Jonah Hex is going to be part of this crossover. I don't know how much he's going to be a part of it. You get a whole bunch more of those shadow demons that are minions of the Anti-Monitor coming to fight them on Earth 38. This might be in the first couple of episodes, because the last trailer makes it seem like they completely wipe Earth 38 at the end of whatever the first half of this crossover is. There might be a couple other clips, but what'll happen is there's so much stuff happening in the next couple of days. We have the last couple of episodes of Watchmen. Dr. Manhattan is finally showing up on that show, so I might wind up having to skip my Watchmen video, because we have the Wonder Woman trailer that's happening tomorrow afternoon. Then we have the first episode of Crisis, which will be Sunday night. But if you have any big questions that you want me to address in my videos tomorrow, just let me know in the comments. For a stark contrast, click here to watch the brand new trailer for The Boys Season 2, definitely the antidote to regular superhero action, and click here for the brand new Mandalorian Episode 5 video. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.